All right. All right, so today playing Warframe. Just kind of got into this game very recently, so you'll see it's very new to me. So get my stuff set up here. All right. Set it up. All right. All right. So, sorry about that. A little bit of craziness going on here. So, put that up. Fun fact for today, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that it is Alexander Hamilton's birthday today. For those who enjoy Hamilton, as I know some members of my family, who, by the way, didn't even know today was Alexander Hamilton's birthday. Whenever I asked them, I like to do fun facts and such. So that was my fun fact for the day today. Is Alexander Hamilton's birthday. There's some other cool stuff that happened today as well. So, like for example, the first Surgeon General's warning notifying the public that smoking was hazardous to their health actually happened today as well. So it was in 1964. So cool stuff. So still kind of getting the swing of this game. Don't necessarily know everything that I'm doing, but we'll figure it out. So maybe I'll move my chat because it appears that I'm like right over top the chat box here in the game. I know there's a quest in here, but I want to do this, and I don't know. Attain mastery rank 1. So if anybody watching this has any recommendations or things that I might be missing in the game, please feel free to point it out to me, because I will I will change what I'm doing to try to accommodate. I think this is level 4 mission. So I unfortunately didn't pay attention when they were explaining a lot of this in the game, if they did explain it. And I'm generally playing solo anything. I guess I should switch over to multiplayer, but these other folks that I could play with.
The Grineer are attempting to clear this forest by poisoning the soil. You are here to sabotage their efforts. Start with the toxin mixer. My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Switch them out if you are willing to shoulder the additives.
Oh boy. Enemy supply caches. But anyway, the other story that came to mind today was one of the cooler stories in history. It was a gentleman by the name of Robert Smalls, who I found to be interesting. And if they made a movie of anybody's life, it really should be his. He's got like this really cool story that basically he was born, I think, 1868. And actually, no, it was not 1868. He was born in 1839. He was born into slavery. He passed away in 1915. But what's really, really cool is he was actually a member of the crew of a Confederate transport ship, right? And over a long series of events leading up to it, he the captain and the crew actually had a lot of faith in him and his partners or the other slaves that they had on the ship. And so they would go out on, they would dock the ship, and the captain and the crew, the non-slave crew, would go out and, out in the evening and go out to eat and do things, and then they would not necessarily stay on the ship. So occasionally the folks that were the slaves were forced to stay on the ship throughout the evening, and occasionally they would actually be allowed to have their families come and visit them on the ship. So he had actually talked to the captain, and it was Robert Smalls, and asked the captain to allow his family to come onto the ship that evening. They had a plan to actually commandeer the ship. So what they did was, once the family got involved or on board, and the timing was right, it was early in the morning, 2-3 a.m. They decided that they were going to commandeer the ship at that point. So their family actually came with them, and he actually could match the mannerisms of the captain of the ship, and had fashioned a uniform to look like him and a hat to actually look from a distance like the captain of the ship. And what he did was he snuck the ship past 4 different Confederate blockades. And once they got past the blockades, they actually put up a bed sheet as the flag rather than the Confederate flag on the ship. And so they were able to essentially surrender the ship to the United States soldiers or the Union. And what's crazy is they actually were almost shot at for being a Confederate ship. It was really early in the morning. The sun hadn't come up yet, and the Union soldiers saw a Confederate ship, and they decided that they were going to shoot it. Well, as the sun started to come up, they actually did see the white flag, realized, had no clue what was going on. But one of the first things that they actually asked for was to fly an American flag on the ship, which was kind of cool. Having just had that story as being enough in his repertoire of his life, that would be enough. But he actually and he was 23 when this happened. After his daring exploit, it went around the newspapers and stuff, and the Congress actually passed a bill giving him prize money for the value of the ship and the guns and everything that they actually managed to commandeer from the Confederates. But then he later went back down and actually started, he was piloting the Planter, which was the name of the ship, and he helped some other folks escape slavery as well. So in May of 1864, Smalls was voted as a delegate. He actually became a member of the House of Representatives, and later went on to live to the age of, I believe it was 73. But he was involved in state politics. He was involved in national politics. He was a member of Congress from 1884 to 1887 in the 7th Congressional District. He then was elected to the 5th Congressional District. Very, very interesting guy. But his first wife passed away, and then he got remarried. And he had 9 living children. One of them passed away at the age of 2, but he's a very, very, really cool story. They should actually make a movie of his life. Not to be confused with the other, the general in the Civil War that was a real piece of garbage. Ah, crap, what was his name? I'm like on a Revolutionary War, Civil War kick on my facts recently. But because of where I live, some of that stuff is really really front of mind here on the East Coast, where the Civil War was fought, in, you know, in our backyards here and such. So yeah. So the general that I was thinking of that was the complete and utter piece of garbage is General Dan Sickles. So not to be confused with Robert Smalls and the General Dan Sickles. I had a friend that was really, really into Civil War ridiculously, and we would joke around Daniel Sickles. He actually does tours of battlefields and stuff, but we would joke about Dan Sickles. I guess that's kind of a really random inside joke that nobody knows anything about. But he killed his wife's lover. He was a known philanderer. Would go out and, you know, do kind of whatever, whenever. It was very, very well known. Married a very young girl, basically let her alone and didn't pay any attention to her. And she took a lover, which he kind of introduced to her, and once it became known, he ended up killing his wife's lover. There's a very significant age difference between Sickles and his wife as well. But so one of the things about Dan Sickles was he was involved in the war, obviously, and he actually disobeyed orders to go to the wrong place and happened to be in the right place at the wrong time after disobeying orders, and tried to pretend that he was a hero, and basically everybody that could have refuted his story was dead. But the where he shot his lover was actually on the fence that surrounded the cemetery in Gettysburg. So he had that fence moved and donated. One of his big claim to fames after he joined the he later went into politics after the war, as he had his leg amputated. He couldn't really serve much anymore, but he was big into a proponent of memorializing the Civil War and the soldiers that fought there, and the battlefield there at Gettysburg and such. So he was a big contributor in Congress to that, and a lot of it was around. My understanding is that he was viewed as being kind of a dirtbag by anybody in the military. But again, anybody that knew his reputation in the military had actually passed away. So they were unable to refute anything that he said. But he did contribute a lot of money and such to, like, not the war effort, but memorializing the families and the members of the Union Army and such. So I guess he did kind of do a little bit of good in that regard. But as I said before, Dan Sickles, historically a piece of garbage. So that's kind of my my historical, I guess, spiel for today. That thing is, my goodness, Betty White, and to be accompanied by Bob Saget, sorry. Completely spaced out there for a minute. Always anyway, so I'll focus on the game here a little bit. Apparently, insert antitoxin. Guess I should pay attention to what it is that I'm doing. I like to pull out the kunai too. I don't know why I prefer them over the prefer the kunai over the that gun for some reason. I need to see what other primary weapons I can make them. Actually, I've got this staff that I'm not necessarily a fan of. I've got a blueprint queued up for the other stuff. For 2 katanas, which I think would be more my speed. I'm gonna change up my my Warframe here at some point to try to go with a more stealthy, maybe faster Warframe. This one's kind of fast, so I think it's kind of cool. But I guess I gotta pick that up. No, I like to hit these guys from behind and stuff. So I don't know. I guess you can get like, I don't know, companions to roll with you as well. But I've not done that yet. Wonder what, and defend the injector. I guess the kunai hit two enemies there. Kind of bouncing around, moving fast like Ricky Bobby. You gotta go fast. I guess the toxin injector's still going. I wonder where the caches are that it talks about. I thought I got one of them, but apparently I didn't. So. By the way, sorry if I seemed a little spastic while telling that story. I'm trying to do about 10 things at once. I'll get better over time though, but I can assure you I really am that spastic. I need to get a scanner. It appears I think I need more money to buy a scanner. apparently water hurts here. I don't know why, but for some reason this game reminds me of Borderlands, even though it's nothing like Borderlands. I guess the nature of the missions and such, I don't know. Where's your pet? Need to get a companion here soon. There seem to be some pretty cool ones out there. It reminds me of like Fantasy Star Online with the Monomates. That was a pretty fun game back in the day. I used to play. There's Fantasy Star 2 out. I'm trying to get into that a little bit as well, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Anyway. Guess I just gotta... I thought this was a grenade patch there, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll do this bad boy quickly. Oh. Maybe when I get so many viewers, I'll do a rap from Hamilton. How about that? Maybe we can do that. A Hamilton rap. All right. Let's see. I need to look at mod loadouts. I'm gonna switch to that Loki spec.